Okay, all, or rather plenty of attention has been events in the Middle East and the impact it's going to have on oil prices. They actually jumped after US officials said an Israeli missile had struck Iran earlier on Friday. Brent crude surged by as much as 4.2%. Initially, though, it has now fallen back. Investors have been closely watching Israel's response to that Iranian drone and missile attack last weekend. Concerns worsening that conflict could disrupt supplies. Iran, of course, is OPEC's third largest oil producer. Joining me now is Cornelia Meyer, who is an independent energy analyst and CEO of Meyer Resources. Cornelia, lovely to have you on the programme. There has been talk that this missile strike was a very limited response, limited market disruption, limited impact on oil prices then?
Well, it was a limited response, and that's one thing. But you saw that even when the Iranian drones hit Israel, oil barely moved. And the reason is the following. As long as we still have oil flowing, there's not serious disruption to the market. And what we have to also see is there's plenty of spare capacity. As you know, OPEC Plus had production cuts, which were quite big. So, for instance, Saudi Arabia has spare capacity of around 3 million barrels a day. So, whatever happens, there are people who can move into barrels that are missing from the market, should that be necessary.
Why do you think secondary sanctions haven't been put or placed on Iran? Because it's those that could seriously impact their oiling industry, isn't it? Because it targets the banking.
Yes, exactly. There are the banking sanctions. But, you know, if you look at the oil markets, they're quite tight. And as you have one of the OPEC Plus members, Russia, is under quite severe sanctions. So there's not much. Venezuela is under sanctions. There's only that much that you can really put in terms of sanctions. So you saw that the G7 took swift action, but they didn't put the oil industry under the sanctions package. They put the industry that produces drones under that package, because, you know, everybody knows the global economy needs to be supplied with oil. Inflation is still there. It's not coming down, especially not in the US. So nobody, especially in the OECD nations, where you want to take interest rates down, wants to see oil prices soar too much.
Cornelia, just before we go, and very briefly, I mentioned that Iran is part of OPEC, a third biggest supplier. Is their membership at risk here?
No, because look, Iran's membership was not at risk when there was a war going on between Iran and Iraq. So no, Iran's membership is not. OPEC is very good at working through crisis, at working through animosity. Absolutely not.
Cornelia Meyer, sorry to rush you, but thank you very much. I think we touched all the main points there. Thank you. And that was your World Business Report. Rajini Vaidyanathan will be with you shortly. From me, cheerio.